Hi, everybody. Good evening. We are live from another episode of Oxfordian Outlook. And today we're really excited because we have a fantastic speaker bringing in a fantastic topic for you as well. My name is Noor, and I'll be moderating today's session. And I'm extremely delighted to moderate today's session with Khunsa Hayat, who's working as a leadership professional, consultant, trainer with tiered apprenticeships. She comes in with a lot of experience in the leadership and management domain as a trainer. She's working with a lot of organization and has experience of working in the HR domain, advising different organizations and companies how to, structure their environment. Today's topic is something that's really exciting. We've spoken a lot about hybrid working. There are a lot of organizations thinking about allowing work from home. How does it work for them? Whether they've embraced on the cycle or not. What it means for some organizations to have a 4-day work week. So different aspects. If you are looking at it from a professional perspective, if you're running your own organization, if you're working for an organization that's actually advocating for hybrid working, what does it mean? What could be some of the challenges that organizations and individuals can face, and then what can be some of the advantages. So today's Oxfordian Outlook is all about that. But with that, let me welcome Khunsa to today's live webinar. Hi,
Thank
Khunsa.
Hi, Noor. How are you? Thank you so much for your generous introduction. I'm really pleased to be part of this webinar at Oxfordian College because Oxfordian is very near to my heart. Because I did my teaching qualification with Oxfordian College, so yeah, I feel really proud to be part of an activity where I'm at the side of the table and being maybe useful for some of the other learners who are part of Oxfordian journey now.
Absolutely. No, so we're really excited to also have you. And I know you picked up a really relevant topic, Hunsa. So I'd hand it over to you. What is this all the hype about hybrid work cultures, and why are organizations actually trying to, take it up as something that they have to do for their professionals that are working with them?
So, a lot has been said and done regarding what is this hype about. The financial benefits of hybrid working, and then how does it provide flexibility for organizations as well as employees. Then a lot of things come in that current employees having multiple generation in workforce, and then people preferences, with that obviously a shift in culture, technology intervening, AI intervening. So it's all part of what we call to be new normal, that is post covid research, and a lot of progress around how organizations have now decided to settle in into new working environments and work practices. And one of the most, I would say, trendy and most adopted aspects of human resource development and leadership is hybrid working. Organizations who prefer hybrid working have found really really useful and beneficial outcomes of adopting it. They have had tested and well proven outcomes of it. This is the reason organizations are preferring, and as they go forward, obviously when you're adopting a trend, or when you're adopting something for the first time or in initial stages, um, it comes with all its challenges, and this is what the research and practitioners are joining their head around, how to combat those challenges, how to overcome those, so that we can benefit maximum out of the advantages of this practice, which is hybrid working. And my niche or my topic today is around one of the areas, which is leadership. Enough has been said and done around how it affects the employee side of the business, but it has challenges, benefits, and preferences, recommendations from leadership side as well. So, with taking examples from how I see my leadership at Dear Apprenticeship, dealing with the challenges of hybrid work environment, I will shed some light and try to explain my research around these areas.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I guess what you're also mentioning is that, post-COVID, we have seen a lot of adaptability towards, allowing working from home. Initially, it may have came in as a, expectation that, this is something that's going to happen. But we've seen a lot of organizations who have actually gone to this hybrid working model where 80 to 90% of their employees are actually working from home.
Yes.
They have checks and balances and processes in place as well. So how do you think the adaptability of the hybrid work culture has come? What processes have organizations put up in place? How are the leaders actually managing the leadership aspect of things? And what does your research say on that?
Yeah. So it's a very good question because I get to meet with senior leaders in different organizations, working in different organizations in UK, and they initially I have seen this transition from managing flexible working as a challenge, and then now it's settling in. So starting from policy matter, you might be aware that flexible working has been added to officially added to employee policies or organizations policies from government of United Kingdom, and rest of the countries are also working towards adding it from that legal perspective, or legitimizing this aspect of how it will be managed. Coming towards how organizations are managing it, it comes with lots and lots of flexibility from leadership side. Leaders are now aware, and those who are not, they're preparing themselves through different training qualification. Like any other change, this is being managed through training qualification, and then providing the flexibility to the organization to test both the models. Willingness is the first thing. Earlier, as you said, it was we were left with no choice but to adopt it. Now that we have seen the benefits of it from employees and from leadership, both sides, it's now a matter of flexibility. It's now a matter of being open enough to adopt to this change, adapt the hybrid working as per our needs. At our organization, I know that my senior leadership would always talk about relationship management. More than 50% of team, we as a team, are working in hybrid working environment or remote working environment, but we are so well connected because of leveraging the communication, because of leveraging the technology, and leadership's focus on making relationship management as one of the important aspect of our culture. Our culture was communicated to each and every employee, and is reiterated, reinforced in each and every team get together. It was back in December 2023 when we were told and explained the pillars of our culture on which the organization is standing, and relationship management was one of the important pillars, and that brings in excellence in everything we do. So um, the reinforcement from leadership side to combat this challenge of being far away while staying connected is something that I have seen being seamlessly managed. And same is the case with my learners. All of them are senior leaders working in such busy environments, such as care, such as dentistry. All of them are really busy people, but then those who are working remotely on the days they can't come to office, they have mechanisms to stay connected, so that the element of socializing, the element of getting benefit of interaction, especially human interaction, is not carried away by technology or AI.
Absolutely. And I think I loved what you said around, that there was a choice before.
Yeah.
There was no choice, right? But then the flexibility element and the fact that, you could actually have better processes in place,
Yes.
irrespective of the fact that there is greater cost reduction, there is a lesser carbon footprint that is happening. And still yet there is this, collaborative approach
Yes.
that you see within the teams as well. I'm just recalling a very fun moment, and I think I would like to bring this here as well. That, the one of the best team building exercises that I have done have been for remote teams, in which, we have done and leveraged a lot of AI technology matters as well. And that is actually something that has, developed a culture.
Yeah.
Apunsa, you're working on both sides, right? You're working on the learner side as well, and then you're working as a team as well in
Yeah.
these hybrid work settings. How much of this acceptability to AI, the adaptability element of it, the fact that you have to learn new tools as well,
Yeah.
does it come naturally to the team, or is there a lot of hand holding that's involved?
Um, so my answer would be traditionally different here. Even if it doesn't come naturally, you're not a technology pro kind of a person, or a very good first mover kind of a person. There's no survival without it. So I heard one of my mentors saying, and it really hit hard, that AI is here to stay. If you don't learn it, or if you don't learn to collaborate with it, you won't survive, with excellence in your career. You will just drag yourself along over the years. But then obviously one, when puts in effort, wants to survive in a good way, right? Wants to excel in their career. So there's a lot of hand holding. From my own example, from my learners example, when I started using tools like Menti or such, just to engage learners while they are remote in my master classes, in sessions, they were a bit reluctant. I wouldn't say they were not. I myself took time to learn all these tools and then use them, as because when you are interacting in person, the engagement level of interest can be seen from your body language. But when you're remote, you have to make a conscious effort, right? And that you can display by learning the tools that will help you connect. So there's, I would again say, there's no choice. The opportunities are out there. It's much more easy to adapt and adopt now, but there's no choice. You have to learn, you have to collaborate with technology, with AI, to kind of survive in this digital leadership era.
Yeah, wonderful. No, absolutely. And I think that adaptability and the learning of these tools has come relatively very quickly.
Yes.
Imagine the kind of content that we are producing now. Anything that you have to ask your third best friend would be Chat GPT, and you would, hop onto that and try to find out solutions to your answers as well.
Yeah. So I would
Um,
like to
yeah,
quickly share with you that there is a research on technology adaptation model, so which says that it it kind of progressed so fast that in 1 year it progressed, it covered the aspects that generally would have been covered by somebody who is a slow adopter in 5 years. So
yeah.
it just like, it's just to add on to what you said, that it has actually added and came with much more of faster pace as compared to it would have if it wasn't a new normal.
Yeah, yeah, no, wonderful, absolutely. And I think one of our favorite questions, we're both women here. I wish there was a male to, balance out and create more diversity here as well.
Yeah.
But when we talk about work-life balance, and we talk about hybrid work environments, it's usually said that, it becomes way too easy for women to actually, uh, you know, support family structures as well. And very interestingly, I was reading a report and we're talking about research. And just now I read a research report a while ago. McKinsey has done a research, and I'll run it past you as well, and you can take a look as well. And they
Sure.
said that, working from home or working as a hybrid setting is actually not only a thing or a facility that you're offering to women. Men are also finding it much much more useful, because again, the commuting time, like I said,
Yes.
just putting in better work life balances. And when we talk about equality in the gender roles,
Mm.
that has also really improved. So what is your experience working in a hybrid team setting? Do your male colleagues also come back and say that it has actually, improved their work life balance? Has it actually benefited their mental well being as well?
So yes, there's a mixed kind of, and depends on people who are more outgoing. They enjoy, they can't get a kick for starting their work before collaborating with couple of colleagues early morning. So regardless of a gender, and then when it comes to gender specific, obviously, discussion, again, there are two school of thoughts. Both are fighting really hard via research to prove that it's a two jobs at one time, when one is staying home and trying to manage everything, and then other school is saying that no, you can save commute time, it offers you flexibility. I personally feel that my experience working from home remotely, or in a hybrid setting, is it provides me a lot of flexibility around time, because it comes with flexible work arrangements. It provides me with lots of time to kind of manage my work life, to manage my study when I did qualifications alongside my job. And then it's also flexible in a sense that it saves me a lot of commute time. And when I ask my colleagues, or when I ask people around me about how do they feel about it, to be very honest, there's a mixed kind of a feedback. People enjoy it, but then those who are 2 days in office, they're like, it's good to go out, talk to people, interact with colleagues, having that going to the office feeling. But then there are some who say that why 2 days, they should also be offered to stay back at home and save commute times, to kind of put that effort towards work or something. So there's a mixed kind of um, feedback against that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, like you're saying that, even the male counterparts, and even for women, we definitely say that, yes, with the gender roles, but even for male counterparts also, we see that, it's a greater balance between the roles.
Yes.
I'm going to play a little bit of the devil's advocate, and I'm going to also also say, and because I've had this feedback, I've
Mhm.
worked with teams who were in, you know. Internationally spread diverse offices, and
Mhm.
they found it actually very hard, and they said that the amount of time that they're spending hopping on to Zoom calls and hopping on to Teams calls is a bit too much. And whilst they would say that, a hybrid, before the hybrid work environment, they were working fixed
Yeah.
set times, and now there's absolutely no time that they're working round the clock. um, do you feel that, this does happen quite often? And if it does, what are some of the techniques that leaders can actually use to avoid that overspend also? Because in the end, it was all just about work life balance. But if hybrid working is actually negating your work life balance, then it's not
Yeah.
working for our benefit, is it?
Yeah. I think this question directly relates to the leader, because it depends on leader how they manage their remote or hybridly working team. For example, again, in my current organization, you wouldn't believe that the way it is managed. um, as I said, I report to my manager, I work remotely, but she's working hybrid. But I never faced this issue of working overtime. Reason being, the flexible working is implemented in its true essence. I worked with another organization earlier as well, and then I could see that it depends on the leader, because the head of department over there had kind of strict policies against. It wasn't policies as in written, but then rules, knowing that I have a life and my team has a life as well. So
Hmm.
with current, again, I would mention it as a best practice that we do meet often. One-to-ones are arranged on monthly basis, but then we provide each other with this flexibility of emailing the person, or not just directly approaching them using the phone. They might be doing something else. So I think it's again a building up a hybrid culture with its true essence of flexibility, giving the other person this opportunity that they might be away, they might be having their break, it could be a school run, it could be something
Hmm.
that they discussed earlier on. So that's a perfect example, which I, as I said, from my experience is this. But then I know my learners who are senior leaders managing their teams, and they talk on their behalf that how do they provide them this flexibility. So I
Hmm.
think if you implement hybrid working but are not ready to exercise flexibility with it, it's not it's just like, you are implementing bureaucracy but you're not implementing accountability with it. It comes with lots of
Wonderful.
authority, but if there's no accountability, it's going to fail. Similarly, this hybrid working, especially leadership success in hybrid working, comes with a lot of knowledge, lot of championing yourself in terms of adopting that change, and then letting others do that the way you want them to do. And then it comes with a lot of educating yourself for learning this practice.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. I think absolutely, and I think what you're speaking about, the it becomes even more important when you're working in hybrid team environments to set up this hybrid culture.
Yeah,
Because if you're setting the timelines well, and if you're appreciating that, your household chores will still be there even if you're working from home.
yeah,
So the strict timelines and adhering to a hybrid culture
yeah,
that's streaming from the top again. So the senior leadership sets up this unspoken rule, and then the others follow lead as well.
yeah,
Wonderful. And I think what you also mentioned very well is that with this fear that we have of employees perhaps skiving off of work,
yeah,
that comes with a greater sense of accountability as well.
yeah,
And I do know for a fact that a lot of organizations also use these AI tools, which then help them in monitoring the effectiveness of, and the way that their employees are working also is
yeah.
also monitored. Sounds great. Any final words, Hunsa, that you would want to say, because you're working a lot on the leadership level? Any last piece of advice that you would like to share with our audience who's watching?
Yes, definitely, I would. And that's, if I summarize it, it's basically aligning all your HR practices around hybrid working, which is then attaching, instead of monitoring your employees' hours, why don't you implement the idea of KPIs? Key performance indicators attached to the position, and then performance linked with it. So even if they are not putting full hours on daily basis, they'll be gauged against KPIs, right? So if it comes with a lot of flexibility, the accountability is on the individual, as an employee, on myself. If I can't make best use of flexible working, and if it's taking 4 hours out of my bedtime because I couldn't manage it during my daytime, then that's something we need to kind of discuss separately, how it comes on us and as an individual to discipline ourselves. But with hybrid working, I think it requires alignment throughout your human resource practices so that it can become a successful model, whereas it is being implemented by corporate organizations quite successfully.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Hansa. I think this has been a fantastic session. I think a lot of people who would be on the edge of hybrid working dynamics, or maybe the ones who are actually struggling in getting their teams up onto a culture set, or maybe setting accountability stands for them. This is really important. I like the fact that you shared your work that you're doing with your employer as well at the apprenticeship. So, that sounds wonderful as well. It was great to have you on the other side as well as a speaker of ours, and we hope to keep seeing you again and again.
Sure. Thank you so much, Noor. Thank you for your time and thanks for inviting me over.
You are most welcome. And for those of you who were watching us today on our YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn channels, we do have a QR code right at the end if you want to follow us. We do the Oxfordian Outlook sessions every week. On Friday, we are always open for more speakers who can come on board with us and want to share their perspective. So feel free to reach out to us, and we would be back next week with another topic of discussion, which is going to help you and support you, professionals, students, and leaders alike. Thank you so much. See you next week. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.